Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome in studio. Chad Rosema pinch hitting here tonight. John Rallis is busy right now, just kind of wrapping up some stuff with the Pepsi North America Cup draw that if you did just tune in, you were able to see that. So back reunited with my pal, Randy Waples, as we kick off NA Cup week here at Mohawk Park. And a lot of times, Randy, we're actually into the 5 days a week. We're not right now. We are still just on our 4-day week rotation. I think our first Tuesday is the 24th. If I'm not mistaken, so that'll come up a little bit after. But how'd you recover Sunday after Saturday's marathon that we had?
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely a marathon there, but I'm still buzzing today about that NA Cup night. I mean, just everything, not just the NA Cup ones, but Chantilly. It was the first time I got to see Chris Ryder's Philly. You know what I mean? I didn't think there was anybody. Right, I didn't think there was anybody that was going to, even remotely that I thought could even come close to Chantilly. You know what I mean? I've been waiting for Mickey to come up. But boy, oh boy, she didn't disappoint at all. And then the NA Cup limbs, fantastic racing, exciting racing. I'm still buzzing for it right now. I'll probably be coming down just about ready to head back into it on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, my adrenaline was going too, being upstairs, getting to call the action. We had some great performances, none maybe more as far as action-packed than that second Pepsi North America Cup eliminations where light up the world. Able to just fly off of, a tiring pace up front because they went, 53-2 to the half, I think it was?
That was the one with the big 3-wide move to the half, wasn't it?
Yeah. Madden Oaks.
Madden Oaks, yeah.
A lot of talent with that horse.
Yes,
much. A lot of talent.
Yeah, and who draws the 10-hole? The horse that could maybe be a fly in the ointment.
Well, I mean, I know he was aggressive the other night, a little hot, but he can leave. He can race him off the pace. We saw that here in the first week. This horse has got a lot of talent. That's for sure. It's going to be exciting. So we did just have the draw festivities done, so we know where everybody's going to line up. We had 3 eliminations that were required on Saturday night with the limb winners. Obviously, they don't get to pick their posts like they did in the past, but they are assured of drawing 2 to 6. So Blueprint, Light Up the World, and Captain Optimistic, who are 4, 5, and 6 on the gate, clumped right together in ideal positions. Mark was talking about post 4 is the winningest post in the NA Cup. We know post 6 historically, though, the best post just overall here at Mohawk. Light Up the World was the one that it was selected first in the open draw, ended up getting the 5-hole. A great spot for all of these horses here, like the 3 limb winners.
Yeah, I always like 4 the best, even though 6 is usually the one that, wins the most races here. Yep. I always like 4 the best because I find with 4, you get to see everything on the inside and the outside, much like 5 and 6,
yep.
But you don't have to go up on the car. Sometimes horses get a little hesitant when they get up on the car. The 4, you don't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
Here we go, Chad.
Yeah, this was Captain Optimistic in the first elimination, first over. And, credit to the horse, the effort as well. But, Dexter Dunn, one of the best in the industry, not just driving, but keeping horses alive first over, and he just did a really nice job there because, Joel and the Jets, big effort from the inside. I mean, Doc Moore's got a nice 1-2 punch.
Does so.
In the final, what I like that's coming into this race is that you've got, so the limb winners. So here's Nancy Tactor. She's won it already twice. Tony Beaton won it last year. Ron Burke won it a handful of years ago with J.K. Endevanera. So you've got, the 3 limb winners are all trained by previous winners in the Cup. However, the drivers attached have yet to win.
Oh, nice.
In Dexter.
Yeah, interesting.
James and then, of course, Ronnie Wren Jr. So
just one quick observation on that last one.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think that Captain Optimistic's seen that Joel and the Jets coming up the inside because he's got a Murphy on the inside. But once he's seen him, then all of a sudden he took off again. But that's. Oh, what about this one, Chad? Great call.
Yeah, this was fun because we just had so much action in there. I mean, Madden Oaks still hung on to be third after the trip that he went. Crackshot had to wait, to get through. I mean, this was probably going to be closer. But as soon as I could see him making his move, and I know, and James has said this too, that this horse, when he can chase, he's lethal. Just absolutely lethal. And that's exactly what he was. He was so much buzz last year with him, but he only got to race a handful of times. So, that's exciting with him. And then, the next elimination, everybody's entitled to an opinion. My opinion of Blueprint is that, he's still the one to beat. He comes into this as the top-ranked 3-year-old. He's been great this season. He's 4 for 4. And then some, want to take the other approach of maybe pick him apart a little here and say, well, you know what, he wasn't as impressive. I don't know. I thought he was almost shut down there and then starting back up when Prince Hal started to come on.
Yeah.
That was my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, plugs were still in. You guys talked about that the other night.
Yeah.
But it was a good effort from really all three of those horses there.
Yeah, when we do the zoom up, you're going to see Ronnie Wren. Look at him here. He doesn't even register Dave. Watch Ronnie Wren. He's got him put away. Now he sees Dave. Whoa!
Yeah.
Look at this one come,
Yeah, and he responds quickly.
Yeah, and he had to get him going so quick that I think that's the reason why he couldn't get those plugs out quick enough. You know what I mean? Like I think
maybe.
normally if Dave
he thought, I don't need them.
Right. Everything's good, and then all of a sudden, 20 feet, 10 feet before the wire, wham! Here comes this horse, and you don't even have time to make that quick, and I don't even know if it would have made a difference anyway, because it probably wouldn't have been much noise, or it just would have been the horse feeling the plugs coming out of his ears.
Yeah.
But to start him back up so quickly like that. Good effort there, but I don't understand why anybody would pick apart that horse, because I thought he raced a fantastic
I agree
mile.
with you. I agree. And Luprint, I mean, how things could have been different. Luprint very well could have been the one drawing the 9-hole like Prince Hal Hanover got, because he didn't win his elimination. So now you're into the open draw. Madden Oaks, unfortunately, someone's got to get the 10. He got the 10 hole, but I saw him, a good up close look on camera when they were coming out of the paddock. I don't know if you saw him in person. But he looks like
after the race.
Is he a big, tall, strong horse? That's what he looks like.
Big monster.
Yeah.
I was talking to Cam afterwards there, Cam Capone, his trainer and that. And, it's unfortunate. Somebody's going to have to get it, right?
Yep.
The 10 hole. And it's unfortunate for their connections that it's them. But number one, it's a starting spot. And number two, when you think about it, of all the horses in here that could really mix things up pretty good, that's the one to have it. I mean, as a fan, not as the connections of the horse. I feel bad for them. But as a fan, this horse shows incredible speed. Braxton didn't mind three-widening him when he did. He's freewheeling him there.
Yeah.
If he does it again, who knows? Because his acceleration is spot on. But what I like about this year, Chad, is there is no clear-cut standout. Like you said, some people are going to take a real good look at Swingtown, but I don't think or Luprint, but I don't think anybody's going to come right out and say, this guy is much the best.
Yeah, some debuts in there. Again, at one time, you were in the same scenario where you were gearing up for your very first NA Cup. What was your first one? Do you remember?
Thinking out loud.
My
very first one.
That you
Jeez,
drove
no,
in.
I couldn't remember.
Okay.
That I couldn't tell you.
But I mean, Braxton Boyd. Right, I mean, that was his first, when he won with Van Diemen Blue Chip the other night. That was his first drive here in Canada, and he wins. Cam Capone's going to be making his debut, but Ronnie Wren Jr. So he gets, he wins his first Breeders' Crown last year with Luprint. Now he's going to be, in the NA Cup, going for $1 million. Our biggest race, one of the biggest events for the 3-year-olds all season long. So. Exciting time for these guys, right? But what kind of a week are they going to have?
Oh, I'm sure that there's going to be a few frazzled nerves. Everybody wanting to make sure that the horse that they raced last week is the one that's going to show up Saturday night. One quick thing about Ronnie Wren too.
Yep.
Some people are taking kind of maybe the odd poke at him that he had the horse shut down. I don't think that you should look at a young driver that's shutting a horse down in a big stake elimination as a bad move. I think you have to cheat with these things when they win. You cannot win by over lengths, because by the end of the season, it's going to come back and bite you. Yeah. And I think what he did was perfectly right for that horse. Unfortunately, Miller shakes loose and, almost makes him pay for it. But even if he pays for it, he draws the 2-hole with the horse that wasn't wound right to the wire. That's the part that I don't like, is when a horse is chased right to the wire. Sometimes you got to do it, but not often. Those are the ones that come back strong 7 days later. I think he made a really, really smart catch driving decision for a guy that's going to hopefully have this horse right from now to the Breeders' Crown.
At first glance, when we, without really handicapping, just looking at this, and 47-2 is the track and stakes record for this event. I mean, if we get nice weather, on Saturday night, I didn't look to see what the forecast is, but hopefully the track's tip-top. we could see some wicked fractions again early, which result in a fast ultimate time, because look at the speed you've got just in the outside 3, and even actually 4 if you want to, put Swingtown. Swingtown's wickedly quick off the gate too.
Yeah.
But, a Prince Alamadnoak's a crack shot, and it's going to be fun.
It is. It's going to be a great race. I don't think the draw could have worked out any better. You got speed on the outside, you got speed in the middle, and you got a couple of dangerous ones down on the inside. It's going to be a bit of a chess match, you know what I mean? But I think we could easily, if the weather cooperates, we could easily see a track record.
All right, Saturday night, this past Saturday, the way the track was playing out, here is what was going on and where they were at 3/4. I mean, wind wasn't any kind of a factor here. Now, the one in the 7th race, that was a last to first victory by Light Up the World. Now, we had things set up for him as far as needing a pace to chase, but he still had to do what he did. He came home, I think, at 26. Flat on the end of it. You can see, it wasn't actually too many that were necessarily leading at 3/4 like we see so often here, Randy, but, only one that was really well off of the pace, again, being Light Up the World in there. Bottom line is you still want to be pretty much close and not have to say, I got to rely on some kind of a quick pace.
True, but we're starting to see a lot more fours. Like you said, there's 1-8, but we're starting to see a lot more sitting fourth than we have, weeks prior. Weeks prior, it seemed like you had to be either first or second, and that's it. Now we're starting to see some fourth. I think the biggest reason why that is because I think this track is just lightning fast right now.
Yeah, and I think some nice cushion, too. A bunch of them were coming home Saturday night. Multiple were sub 26. Final quarters, in there. But yeah, it is just shaping up to be a great. I can't wait till tomorrow. I know we know the finals right now, where everybody's drawn and things of that nature. The other one that'll be drawn tomorrow that's going to be part of the big program is the Mohawk Gold Cup Invitational. So, and then a solid undercard. But really looking forward to seeing the draw that comes out tomorrow afternoon, so keep an eye out for that. Continuing with stats, how about the last few cards here? What's been going on as far as drivers and trainers? James McDonald back on top. He had 4 wins the one night. Well, he had 4 Saturday, I think, overall, if you include the 4 that we had in the pre-afternoon there. But yeah, 13 wins for James, $250,000 earned. Louis Waugh right there. Double J had a good week as well, and there's Doug McNair. Rounding things out and just shy of $200,000 as well for earnings. So those are the drivers. How about trainers? Kyle Fellows continues to do nice things. Paul Reed, Luke Blay. I think we might be seeing a lot of Luke Blay in the coming weeks. Not just his stakes horses, but 2-year-olds are going to start getting unveiled, as we know, in the coming weeks as well.
That's always exciting.
Yes,
it is.
Would
Beaton sleep with that trophy?
Yeah, I would too. I would too.
Well, I seen him kissing it on the pregame.
I wouldn't want to give it back, right? And he's got a good shot at keeping it this year. That's right. Could come right back. He's got a big opportunity. I'm not sure I'll even be doing any handicapping for Saturday. I'll be busy enough upstairs doing stuff, but
they usually have that insert, though. They call it the expert handicappers.
Yeah. I don't get included as an expert.
Me neither. Now I don't feel so bad.
I'm kidding around. But my initial reaction, just I like Light Up the World. I've just really liked him right from day one.
I agree. Right at this point, he would be my pick as well. Plus you're getting a driver that drives very, very well, knows his track inside and out, and he's very, very eager to get that first NA Cup out of the way.
All right, what do you think of tonight's card?
Oh, we got a bunch of replays, my friend. I think it's a great card. I went
a bunch of trots.
Yeah, but I went. Okay. Yeah, there's not going to be much chalk-eating weasel going on tonight. There's going to be a couple because I just can't get away from them.
Right.
But there's a couple that I'm definitely going to go against the grain.
All right. So right off the bat here, race number 1 kicks off that $75,000 guaranteed early pick 5. We'll kind of move through these a little quickly as obviously we're not playing with as much time as we normally would. Roxy Hart getting a lot of play here. She'll continue to put in some preparations ahead of the next Gold Tilt. Not sure when that is coming, but I think you and I can both agree we're going to see this filly win a gold this year.
Yeah, I completely agree too. So Travis Cullen doing the driving with her, and she's just a big, good-looking girl too, with the white face on her and as well. And boy, oh boy, those long legs can sure get into fast mode when he wants to. Look at the move that she's going to put on here. She's going to fall short, going to end up finishing second in here, but back half in 55 flat. Yes, that's 55 flat for the Trotters Mile and 53 flat. She's going to be my top pick in here. I don't think Travis is overdoing it here at this point. I know I pretty well guaranteed that, you know, he knew that he wasn't going to get to Tyler, but he was going to be second in there. So love the way that she raced, and I like the way that Travis looked after her on the end of it.
Yeah, nice fit, I think, for her.
He is. And now we got another one to show you as well, Chad. We got the 7 horse as well, Southwind Milk. I thought put up a real good effort for the tandem of Matt Bax and Todd Ratchford. And Todd Ratchford, you know, doing some winning lately too. So I think this one's going to maybe put him in a spot where he could also come up with a big win. You know, Roxy Hart, musical rhythm daughter there. And this is a daughter of Wallner, $50,000 Lexington Select. And look at the way the body language is on Todd here right now. You know, I think he's just kind of like getting into her right now. But every time he asks her to go, she moves forward. Chris Christoforou coming on the outside with one as well. But at no point does she seem like she, you know, any kind of a problems, no issues with her gait. So I got her in for second. But Roxy Hart is going to be my go-to girl in race number 1.
And I mean, Southwind Milk in that last race, not only is she facing, you know, Vera Cruz is an older horse, but then you've got Landing on Time, a top Xuron trotter that's going to be one of the top contenders in this weekend's Good Times final.
Yeah.
So she kept some pretty good company, 26-3 on the end of it. Solid for any trotter.
She did look real good, but I like the Roxy Hart one as well.
So that's where you went, Roxy Hart on top?
I did.
Okay. All right. We're going to skip over 2 and 3 for now. John will be in studio with Randy here momentarily, but yeah, they'll break down those races obviously through the night. So race number 4, where we still need a driver on the 3 Rockabilly Rebel. Again, no Doug McNair here on this Monday night. We've got a group of 10. The Greek Freak gets back to work. Based on the one qualifier, he looks like he's ready to go, doesn't he? Looks
good. You know, going to go on the Lasix program. Another thing to kind of like about him, but draws the outside. And there's a couple in here. Well, actually, Chad, we got 3 replays to show in this race. We're going to show a replay of the 3, the 4, and the 5.
I never showed 3 replays.
Well, the 4 horse is going to be my top pick in here. But where are we going to start, Luke?
We're going to start with I Like Me Better.
I Like Me Better. So let's take a look at this one. Bobby drives him last week there. And I mean, I think he's a very, very live kind of a horse. He just, at no point are they able to get back to the outside with him. So you can see him running kind of away from that inside head pole. I don't know if he's got a dummy pole on the outside or just nothing at all. But right away, usually when they're doing this, they want out. And right now, he isn't going to get out. And guess what? By the time he hits the wire, he isn't going to get out then either. So right now, you can see Bob. He's looking for anything to bail him out of this situation, but it just isn't going to happen. This is as much room as this horse is going to see in this mile. So I think he was a very, very locked, loaded, and, you know, when McClure is, or any driver for that matter, is looking for room, they have the horse to apply it. And unfortunately for him, he didn't find that. So where are we going next, Luke?
Next one's going to be Thunder Country.
Thunder Country. Let's take another look at this one. It sounds like I'm going to be picking on Bobby McClure tonight, but I'm not. So here again with Bobby, you know, he's going to be driving this guy tonight, Thunder Country. Took some interference, you know, a little bit earlier on, you know, and almost kind of got into a little bit of a problem here too, down into the pylons. But again, you're going to see, you know, he makes a small move up the inside, but this is as far as he's going to go with this guy. You know, at no point he's going to get his clean air, and you can see him. He's looking for it. He's skimming pylons. Now he's stepping on pylons, anything to get him out of that situation. And now he gets right back into another blind switch, so he's shut right down here. And so Thunder Country, I like him in here as well. And let's take one quick look at the 3 horse in here, Rockabilly Rebel.
Okay.
Dougie McNair driving him in his last start. Again, I think that this is a situation where this horse was looking for serious room. And I like Rockabilly Rebel when they race him this way. I find that this is the way that he races the best, when he's, you know, buried in them and then comes at them down the lane. If he can find room, my goodness, can he ever go fast. But at this point, you can see again with Dougie, like there's just no place for him to apply it. There's a small seam going to develop right now, and Dougie's going to thread him through right now, and now he's going to start to chase him. But it's too late at this point. Travis is locked, gone, but you can see Dougie, lots of horse on the end of it, not hurt by him. So in this race, I'm going to go 4, 5, 3, and 9. But those are the 3, the 4, and the 5 of last week. going to throw Greek Freak in on the bottom, thinking that maybe he might need one.
Yeah, and I know you're going to show that replay again for another horse that was locked in there on that one. So we'll have that coming up a little bit later on. Let's go over to race number 5 next, wrapping up the first pick 5 on the program. Scratched down to a group of 9 with my friend Jose. He's been racing well, but he's come up with some sickness. Not uncommon this time of year for sure. So this one is going to be out. The outside pair will draw in, and they're both contenders anyway, so now they get a little bit of a better draw to work from in there. PL Rainbow Dash, been doing some nice things lately as far as trotting home fast. We know it's a matter of time before she breaks through.
Yeah, I think that's the route that I'm going to go, and that's actually the replay that we're going to show you. Both last quarters with her is 26-4 and 26-3 in her first couple of starts back. But there's a couple of other ones in here too, Chad. 27 flat on the one qualifier, 27 flat down on the bottom line back in November of last year. You know what I mean? She can absolutely roll on the end of it.
That's her game closing.
That's her
right?
game is closing, and here she's coming now. I think that maybe she might be able to get away a little closer this week as opposed to from the 8-hole in her last. But to me, she's the livest. I like this horse up on top. I like the horse that's finishing second to him. What about Elmo and Mastercraft? But she really, really impressed me. Moves into a good post position where Elmo and Mastercraft are now going to have to move out to the outside post position. And also Market Banker, threw him in there for third too. Another horse with fast movement on the end of it. It just basically boils down to where Chris is going to be able to apply it. But a horse that I would consider to be dangerous.
And I would say this isn't necessarily a class hike for.
No.
No. Or it's certainly not that much tougher than the latest, if at all. Maybe just kind of a lateral move, but you get an extra $5,000 to race for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nice little race in here as well.
Okay, race number 6 and 7. We'll skip over 6th race, by the way, kicks off the late pick 5. Race number 8 on the card, and we just kind of teed up where we're going to go with a replay in here. I mean,
My Waples watch.
Looking like a million. I mean, just one win this year, but, had the look of a horse that was certainly going to get a good piece of it last week.
I would thought so, too. So let's take a look at this replay there. And this
Already
one's going
right
to be
from here.
Yeah, this one's going to be from Louis Wah, and Chad said, looking like a million for Mike Nowitzki. But already, Louis reaching for grips. And look at the look on his face. I've seen this look, and I've had it on my own face before, too. Like, this guy is grabbing on, and where am I going to go? And look at him. I mean, he just has no place to go. And and I know, Chad, if this guy shakes loose, he can fly on the end of it there. So what I would consider to be a locked-in effort there for looking like a million. And he's going to be my Waples watch tonight in race number 8. And he's going to need, big wheels because he's got a horse down on the inside and that should be very live in here. That's the 3-horse Stormalong.
Yeah, after that drive, Louis, when he goes to the gym the next day, can say, I'm going to skip arm day. I'm just going to do legs. I don't need to work on the arms there. Not after. I mean, he at no point from the last turn on could he let go.
Nowhere, and he's got options. Like this horse can leave. We've seen him leave, and he can race from off just as deadly. So I think he's a live horse in here tonight. Yeah,
and I mean, he's one that he's going to get play off of a trip like that, but you got to be careful not to take too short of a price because he doesn't win often.
No, and that's the thing, too.
And he could get overbet. Who knows?
And to really, technically, at this point in their career, who's the stronger horse, Stormalong or looking like a million? I say Stormalong.
Yeah. We're still awaiting to see who's going to drive in there. Okay, we don't have a preferred trot this week, but we got a preferred 2. Some pretty good-looking ones in here as well. It's a compact group of a half dozen. And I'll tell you what, Pemberton maybe just need a little more real estate last week, and it could have been a winning return for him.
Yeah, let's take a look at that one. He's going to be my top play in here tonight.
Yeah, he came back great.
Do I, I usually let him get a couple of starts into him, but I agree with you 100%, Chad. I think he looks so good in this start, and he's not stepping into the absolute killer bunch. He's going preferred too, but he's not going straight preferred. So I think that even with the step up, we've seen him in this situation before. He's had lots of preferred victories, this guy, and he always, comes up with big efforts when he's raced like this. And right now, Bert Renault is going to have him rocking on the end of it. And what I liked about it is that he starts to click into gear here. Here's when he starts to really throw it down. And at no point is Bert going to empty out. He's going to keep him to task, going to keep him going. But like I said, at this point, he knows he's getting what he's getting, and he just lets it go. But look on the run out. He's right up alongside of these horses, still on his own with no chasing, and out for, 4 or 5
And he just
deep
looks
doing
good
it.
too.
He
I
does.
mean,
That's
he
the
doesn't
other
look like
thing.
a horse that's been off. You know what I
No,
mean? Like he looks
no.
like he's in shape and everything, right?
He
Paul
does.
Walker, has done a nice job with him. So Sid the Kid's the other one you want to look at. He last week was in the preferred.
Yes. Now this guy, going to be a big effort for this guy as well. James McDonald coming right back with him. I'm going to play against him. I'm going to take a chance with Pemberton, but again, it is a chance because Sid the Kid, he really should be the best in here. I mean, with this trip that he got last week, very, very easy kind of a trip. You can see at this point, James still hasn't asked him to do anything, so he's going to end up finishing third because I personally think that that's about as good as he was going to do. But, even though he got beat a little bit, he's going to get a race under his belt. He's going to take a small drop down. I think it kind of adds to a big effort by Sid the Kid as well. So I'm going to throw him in for second, but me and Bert Renault, we're going to ride with Pemberton tonight.
Yeah, and I didn't look at the condition sheet for Saturday, but I would think, because I think in the past we've had a preferred trot on that undercard. So that would be probably one of the main reasons we don't have a preferred out this week.
Right.
And getting some of them back there. So looking forward to that. So that's the 9th race. We have 10 and 11, but won't talk about that right now. Again, do note that race number 11, we do not have the Jackpot High Five. It is frozen currently until Saturday's program, as we've got the big mandatory payout, $421,000. I think we're going to have in the neighborhood of $750,000 in new money. That would be my guess.
That would be nice.
In there, yeah. But we're going to talk your early pick 5, and you haven't had to go terribly deep in any of the legs, but I know you like to see if you can find some singles. Just one single for you in the 4th.
Yeah, and that was, I'm not 100% sure if that was the right call, too. My second pick 5 of the night, my later one there, is full of singles. But this first sequence, to me, was a little bit tough. So I go Roxy Hart and Southwind Milk, my 2 top picks in race number 1. Race number 2, I'm using Charlie's Wish and Charlie's Wish.
Wicked Storm and Connor B?
Actually, I might have wrote that down wrong. I wrote down 2, 3, and 7, but I'm not using the 3 at all. So I would say 2 and 7 is where I should have just went in this race, which makes the ticket a little bit.
Well, we can alter that.
Yeah, makes the ticket. There we go.
Jeremy Grbatin says, "You ask, you shall receive."
There you go. Yeah, and I shouldn't have wrote it down wrong. My apologies, Jeremy. In race number 3, I am going to go 1 and 3. Quebec Hanover, Willow Time. I was so in love with the way that horse looked out on the track last week, Chad, when they switched him to flip-flops. I'm going to come right back to him.
Okay.
I think that I could get a bit of a price. Quebec's going to be tough to beat, but I threw him in for the pick 5 as well. Race number 4, I'm going to single, and this is tough. We showed 3 replays, but I like me better. James McDonald is the route that I'm going to go with the single. And then in race 5, I go a little bit deep. I really like PL Rainbow Dash, but again, I find a lot of dangerous horses in here, so I'm also going to throw Market Banker, What About Elmo, and Mastercraft into the mix as well.
All right. Can I borrow $20 to throw on Wicked Storm? Because it could be a Freudian slip here. You thought you were putting it on, didn't.
What are you going to give me the Dutch whammy here? You going to bet against me?
Yeah, maybe. Saturday night, Pepsi North America Cup 42nd edition, $1 million event is the headline of the program, but we've got so much on the go. So 6:35 first post, doors open though at 4:30. Come on early, get yourself a good seat and get yourself one of those hats that they're going to be giving away. There are going to be 13 races. Race number 11 is going to be Cup 42. I think that's to be at about 10:40. Something around there. I think I heard Mark McKelvey say during the draw. The Game Plus broadcast for primetime racing, 10 p.m. to get extended coverage. There's going to be an early pick 5 guaranteed at $100,000.
Loving it.
Nice to see that. Then an all stakes pick 5 in race number 7. That is going to be guaranteed at $100,000 as well. And the mandatory payout, $421,000 plus. That's going to generate a lot. I'm assuming there'll be a 12-horse field in there, so looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully you can join us here. And there's going to be so much to do as well outside of all of this. I mean, there'll be a lot of different things for the entire family. Bring the youngsters out here.
Have a light show on NA Cup
I'm sure
night?
Luke's going to be doing a light show as well. I think there's probably I think sometimes we get food trucks out here and everything like that. So there'll be a lot of stuff. So just come on out and bring the nice weather with you as well for the Pepsi North America Cup program. I talked about the hat giveaway. That's going to be here on Saturday night as well. We've been promoting that for the last couple of weeks. So make sure you get here early to be able to secure one of those Pepsi North America Cup hats. I heard you say your dad wanted one.
Oh, does he
or
ever?
2.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. He'd take as many as you'd give him there.
And you said you've got as much pull as a lawnmower? Is that what you said? Or
Yeah,
what was it?
I'd have more pull to start your lawnmower than I would to get one of them hats. hats. I don't have much pull around here, but I'll try. I will try.
Jeez. Does he want me to sign the hat if I get him one?
He probably would.
Yeah.
He would want you to sign that hat.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. All right. Let's tee up some plays of the night. You've got a 4-pack. I'm sure Rallis has his in, and then the other lineup as well. But I'll let you quickly talk about yours here, Randy. And then we're going to just head to break, and I'm going to head upstairs. But you started off here in race 2 with Connor B.
Yeah, Connor B going to be my top pick in there. I'm getting a bridle change on him tonight, too, just quickly before we move on. Oh, no, not Connor B. There's another one that I like tonight, getting a bridle change. But Connor B, getting a bridle change, or not getting a bridle change, is going to be my worth a look. All in's going to be I Like Me Better in race number 4. Waples Watch, it's going to come around in race number 8. That's going to be Looking Like a Million. And Beat the Favorite in race number 9. I'm going to take a chance with Pemberton.
All right, here's Johnny's plays. He'll be here in studio here momentarily, and then the other guys as well. Good luck with all your wagers. A pleasure to see you again, buddy.
Yes,
have a
you
good
too,
night.
Chad,
and
for sure. Keep that voice.
Yeah, that's right. Let's hydrated. That's what I understand.
There you go.
Keep it hydrated. That's what we'll do. All right, good luck with all your wagers here tonight. We're 6 away from the Monday opener.